Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Janet here. Today I am going to show you how I used a wood graining tool on this table. Very first time using it. Here is the before. It's dark, it's dated, and it is in need of an upglow. So what I have done is I primed it first with Bonding Boss, and then I painted it in a cream color paint from Dixie Belle. It's called Drop Cloth, and I let that dry for at least 24 hours. And next I grabbed two colors of the water-based stain called Voodoo Gel, and these were Tobacco Road and Up in Smoke. And about 50-50, I just mixed them up in that little plastic container. And then I used the brush to brush it on one narrow strip at a time. And then after that, I grabbed that wood graining tool and in an up and down motion of my wrist, I go down the length of that row and remove some of that water-based stain to make a wood graining effect. So what's best to do is if you have paper towels at the end of every row, you wipe off your wood graining tool to remove your excess stain. I did not know that at the time that I did this first row here. And then you can see I'm shaking off the tool. That is not the way to do it, but we learn by doing. So I'm learning here, but being very gentle with your wrist. Do not put a lot of pressure on that tool. You do not want to rip off your paint accidentally. So that is one good helpful hint, that it is a light motion. Okay, so you can see here, this is my first row. I'm going over and over it because I want it to look a certain way, and I feel like, oh, I'm not actually getting it. So um here I am, also again shaking off the excess stain. So I would not advise doing that. Advise grabbing your paper towel and wiping it off. But I'm going over this first row quite a bit, just trying to get it exactly the way I think it should look. Which, there's no perfect wood grain. Um, I think I was a little bit OCD here. So as I continue to go over this first row, I will say that what I do love about Dixie Belle products, or this based stain and the chalk paint, is that you can do it in your home. You don't have to worry about fumes. The Voodoo Gel stains are wonderful. There's no odor with them. So here you can actually see I am doing this table in my bathroom. We have a little cat who likes to jump on all of my projects. So I have to get in an area where he is not around. So I've got the door shut. I'm in my bathroom and doing this away from our cat. But don't have to worry about fumes or odors. So here I am. I'm putting on this second row, and I'm overlapping just a bit, so I can make it look natural. And gonna set that aside and grab my tool again, and gonna make all of that blend in where I've overlapped. And here I think I finally grabbed a towel so I can actually remove the excess stain. Yes. So coming on down that second row, we're looking good. We're feeling better about the process, up and down motion, making the wood grain effect. So it is working. The set that I bought was from Amazon. It came with two wood graining tools. So a large one is the one that I'm using. There's a smaller one, and there is also a little triangle that you can use to um, make the effect, which I used a little bit on the edges of the table. Um, I did use that small triangle type tool. So, but this was very inexpensive from Amazon, and I know they have these everywhere at Lowe's, your hardware stores. Um, I believe Dixie Belle may be offering one now as well through their website. So here we go, making progress a little quicker now. So I am now starting on the third row of this table. And apparently I'm looking at something. I don't know what has caught my eye there, but coming on down for that third row, and I do overlap just a bit. I don't want any gaps or big um, rows of just that cream color paint. So here we go. Set that down, grab the wood graining tool, and start coming down very gently. Your wrist is guiding the tool. And as you can see, I think I have a microfiber or something that I am wiping the tool off. So, and you can go back and start again. There we go. Just pulling that stain off. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we're starting on row number 4, applying the water-based stain. Again, this is a mixture of 2 colors, Tobacco Road and Up in Smoke. I just grabbed those 2 colors and thought they might look good together. So, and we're almost done. And I think I said, you know what, to myself, I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to go ahead and apply the stain to the rest of this table. Sorry, you got an up close of my ear there. And get this baby done, or this part of it done. We have more steps. So get that tool and get busy. Guys, this was the very first time I used this. I really want to encourage you to try it. It is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed using it. Here we go. And it's easy to go back. If you need to make something look a little bit different, oh, here we go. This is that smaller tool that I just used there. Must have saw a space that had a little bit too much stain, so I grabbed that small tool and just used my hand and went in there. So that makes it great. There we go. Okay. So here is that triangle that I was talking about. Nope, I've decided to use the smaller wood grain. So I'm just going in and adjusting, making little adjustments, pulling a little bit more stain off, trying to make it look more natural. checking it out. Now there's the triangle that I'm using on the edges, and I'm just pulling some stain off up close of the back of my head. I apologize. um, super easy because that is an edge that that wood graining tool would not have worked on that edge. So that triangle, it has little spikies of different sizes on each side. So I went on all the edges of the table and finished that wood grain look. I let that dry for 2, 3 hours, something like that. And then I came back with the bleached cypress and my sponge, and I just went over that wood grain look because when it dried, it was just really, really too bright, and I wanted to tone it down just a bit. So I grabbed that water-based stained voodoo gel in bleached cypress, grabbed my sponge, and then I just went over it to make it match the base color of the table, which is a cream. So here it is. It's the bleached cypress, and I just went over it a few times. And here is the finished product. I also used gold gilding wax on those handles to make them shine. And I just think it is absolutely gorgeous. I did put a satin clear coat on the top. I also used gold gilding wax on those handles. What do you all think? Please like and subscribe. Thanks so much.